Hello everybody, welcome to Dakman Productions and welcome to Conrail. And today we have another unboxing, and as usual, as everybody knows, I like to tell a story when I do an unboxing. I won't do an unboxing video unless I have a story to tell. I'll just show you the product. But at any rate, so here's the story behind these. I ordered these, pre-ordered them, actually 4 years ago, and the dealer who I pre-ordered them from contacted me and said, "Hey, Sean, sorry to tell you, but there wasn't enough pre-orders, so Atlas is not doing them." I'm like, "Are you sure?" I said, "I can't believe that there would not be enough pre-orders for these cars." He said, "Nope, they're not doing the run." So he canceled the order and told me the bad news. I was actually sad because they were really, I thought they were cool. Only to see them arrive earlier, because these things been out for at least 6 months or maybe more. And at the time they came out, I didn't have the funds, but now I do. And I went ahead and bought them from the Western Depot. So either Atlas changed their mind and ran them anyway, or they got enough pre-orders and decided to run them, or the dealer I pre-ordered them from oversold and told me they weren't coming out. So one or the other happened. I don't know. I don't care because I have them for my collection. So what do we get? I'm sure you're seeing the thumbnail and you're wondering what they are. So we'll pull them out of the box here. And what we have, clear this out. Alright. So what we have is the Atlas Trainman series Conrail quality gondola cars in gray. So if you already watched my previous video on the Conrail MOW car gondola, then you're probably going to know what this is going to be about. And if you haven't, well, stay tuned. So there's 3 different lineups of the scale Atlas O. You have the Atlas O Master Series with separately applied details. Then you got the Trainman series, usually with less details and more molded in details. And then you have the Atlas O Premier, which is the old MTH molds. And what these are the Trainman ACF 52-foot 6-inch gondola cars. And pretty happy to have them, you know, because originally I thought these weren't coming out and I wasn't getting them. But here they are, part of my collection. And as everybody's seen in my Big Blue Part 1 series Atlas O video, whenever there's more than one road number, I can't help myself. I gotta buy both road numbers. And if they made 4, I'll buy 4 of them. So thankfully they don't do 6-car sets, because I'm pretty sure I'd be broke. But yeah, so I'm just crazy like that. I can't buy just the one road number. I don't know, something must be wrong with me. Because if they made 2 road numbers, I'm like, yep, we gotta have them both. And Atlas O does make 4 different road numbers sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. Just call me crazy. I guess it's better than gambling or some other bad things people could do out there. But so a little disclaimer: when I do my reviews and history on these, I always talk about real railroading facts, and I compare them to real train cars or real railroad cars and prototypical end quote FRA regulations for those who want to learn more about the model versus the real thing. Now, if you're more or less the type of person who wants to just buy these and put them on a train, you don't care, well, that's fine too. But my videos are geared towards those who like to learn more about the model car, and if it's real or prototypical, and if it is, what's the history behind it. So that's what these videos are for. So let's get these out. Okay, I got this Trainman gondola out of the box. Pretty happy with what I'm seeing so far. If you look over here, you'll see that the grab rails are molded in here. However, on this side of the car, the grab rails are separately applied. So the details are downgraded a little bit, but that's fine because it's less details to break off. And so this is a really cool piece. One of the things I like about this gondola over the last Conrail gondola that they made in brown, which was a few years back, is the fact that this has rotating wheel bearing caps on the trucks. Yay! Somebody actually made rotating wheel bearing caps. So, pretty excited about that. And I'm going to try and catch that for the video. And here we go. And you'll see that cap rotate. That's what I'm talking about. And that's something that Lionel has done in the past. Sometimes you see them do it, sometimes they don't. It's a hit or miss with them. MTH should have learned how to do that a long time ago. I'm sorry if you don't like my opinion on that, but that's what I got to say about that. And I know what people are going to say, rebuttal to that. Oh, you can't see it anyway. But, you know, if I wanted to paint the caps blue, like they do in real railroading, then at least I'll be able to see them rotate then. But yeah, I like the fact that they rotate. And I know people will say, well, that's just one thing that can pop off and you can lose. So we can go back and forth about this all day long, but I'd rather not. I like the rotating wheel bearing caps, and if it was me, I would make a push for anything scale to have them, since all real railroad cars made in the last 30 or 40 years have rotating wheel bearing caps. They haven't made friction bearing caps in a long time. But at any rate, so what do we have here? So if you watch my Lionel MOW Gondola, you should know what we got in front of us. Yes, we have a gondola. Yes, it's 50 foot and 60 inches long in scale length. So what is the significance of this? So if you said, Sean, this is a MOW gondola for Conrail, I would say that's correct. So if you had watched that video, you'll know that Conrail painted their MOW cars in gray when they had the chance. Now, if you watch the Lionel video, if they were in a hurry, they got the yellow ends on them instead of being painted all gray. So this is the Atlas did the full gray painted version in the MOW. They also a lot of them also received the quality logo, which is why I'm wearing my quality shirt today. So you'll see the quality logo on here, which is a cool addition to my collection. So yes, it is correct that they did the Conrail logo, which you see here, the can opener logo, and the quality logo. So yes, they actually had both logos on the car. Why? I don't know. Because usually it's kind of odd because you would only see one or the other. You wouldn't see a combination like this. But they did. This is prototypical and is actually correct. Alright, so I know people like a price point, and it looks like I was incorrect in my last video with the Lionel MOW car. So when I did a price comparison, I said that the Atlas Trainman gondolas were $80 compared to the $103 a piece that I paid for the Lionel scale version. Well, I was completely wrong. So how much did I pay for these Atlas scale sized 50-foot 0.6 gondolas? Well, $54 each. Yep. So, yeah, there's a pretty... I just bought 2 Atlas O gondolas just about for the price of 1 Lionel gondola. I know I've already mentioned this on the other video, but for those who may not have seen that video, how does a rail car become a piece of MOW equipment or maintenance of way, which is what MOW stands for. MOW doesn't stand for mow as in mow your lawn. You hop on your John Deere and then you go out there and mow your lawn. No, MOW stands for maintenance of way. So how does a rail car get into the maintenance of way program? A lot of them are picked for maintenance of way due to one specific reason. And according to FRA regulations, any rail car that is 50 years old or older must be scrapped or sent to a museum or on a private railroad, but it can't ride on a Class 1 track anymore. The exception to that would be if you put it into an MOW or maintenance of way service. However, your track speed would be restricted to 25 miles an hour. Most of the Conrail MOW gondolas were from old New York Central gondolas, old Pennsylvania Railroad gondolas, and old Reading gondolas. So a lot of them were already whooped and worn out. So I'm creating quite the MOW train here. So why not do a recap? That sounds like fun. So what have I collected so far in MOW service? So here is a MTH Premier Conrail MOW caboose. And yes, Conrail really did have MOW cabooses. And I did do a review on this. The one thing I did mention in the review, the MTH sort of got the road number wrong. There would have been an R at the end of these road numbers. So it would have been CR46149R. And that R would have stood for restricted speed. This is a MTH Premier Conrail Russell snowplow. You have the little ends that actually flaps that come out. It's kind of cool. It's got a light on the front of it. Here's the MTH Premier Conrail Jordan snowplow. And yes, Conrail really did have Jordan snowplows. Matter of fact, the last that I knew, at least 3 years ago, there was a Conrail Jordan snowplow still sitting up in Crescent. Very ugly looking, but you can still see the Conrail name remnants on it. Here we have the MTH Premier Conrail 250-ton crane. So, if you ever visited the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania many moons ago, they had, they still have it, but originally when it arrived, it was still in its Conrail black paint scheme. Here we have the MTH Premier 250-ton crane in the Conrail blue paint scheme. And again, yes, Conrail really did have them in blue as well. And finally, you can't have crane cars without something like this. There's a couple different names for them. Some people call them a boom car. Some people call them a crane tender, or even a idler car. I had 2 different road numbers of these, so I had 2 of them. One for each crane. Why not? Need one for each crane. So I know what you guys are going to ask me next. You're going to ask, Dakman, since Conrail painted their cars for the most part in gray, was there any gray locomotives, or did any locomotives become gray for MOW service? And that would be a good question. And the answer would be yes. Conrail actually did have locomotives that they painted gray just for MOW service. And they were mainly used for the Ballast Express. So Conrail had a train called the Ballast Express, they primarily used the GE locomotives, and so they pulled the Ballast Express. They were gray, as well as the ballast hoppers were all gray as well. MTH was the only one that I know of that made one in O gauge, and it was in the Rail King series instead of the Premier series. So maybe not one day somebody would do a full scale Ballast Express or MOW gray locomotive. Okay, I hope you learned a lot today. We'll catch you trackside. See you later. Goodbye.